Okay, good afternoon, everyone. So we're going to finish Mishnah 15 today. Um, this Mishnah, again, was with Shammai. We'll just put on the board the whole Mishnah so we get the full picture, and we're doing the last part. So Shammai had said, Aseh Torascha keva, make your Torah a set thing, something that should be the most important. Emor ma'at v'aseh harbe, do little and say little and do much. And the last part, v'heve mikabel es kol ha'adam b'sever panim yafos, and you should receive everyone with a cheerful countenance, literally a face that is a nice face. You should when you greet people, greet them nicely. So just one the Tiferes Yisrael gives a perspective that sort of puts the whole thing together. There are three different statements in many of the Mishnahs that we've had so far, and that we're going to have put things in threes, which really is, according to many understandings, a follow-up of the original three pillars that we had. That there were three things that the world stands on: was Torah, Avoda, and Gemilut Chasadim. On Torah, Avoda being service, and Gemilut Chasadim being doing kind deeds. So the Tiferes Yisrael wants to put these three in those three categories. That Aseh Torah Keva, that's make your Torah primary. So that's the Torah thing. Avodo, which is service, which is things that we are doing, the mitzvahs we do. It could be also prayer, but in general, the service of God. So that's Emor Ma'at V'aseh Harbe, say little and do a lot. Again, don't. One of the things about doing things is we have a tendency to say, "Oh, I'm going to do all this," and forget about what the bragging aspect of it. Just from yourself, don't promise that you're going to change your whole life in 1 second and just turn everything around. Oh, tomorrow I'm gonna do all the 25 different things that I want to change. Right? Doesn't work that way. If you don't, for one thing, if you say I'm going to do it and then you don't do it, it could be a vow or a promise that you violated. And the other factor he says is that when you sort of verbalize, especially if you verbalize, even if you think about that I'm going to do something, it sort of energizes the Yetzer Hara, the evil inclinations. Now he's got to get to work. Okay, you said you're going to do it. Well, I got to make sure you're not going to do it. So don't encourage outside forces to block you. Just go about doing. Don't talk about it. And finally, the Chesed, which the Tiferes Yisrael points out, Chesed applies to all types of people: rich, poor, someone you do know well, someone you don't know well, Jewish, not Jewish. Everybody includes everybody. You should be nice to everybody. And he points out especially when you have guests, he says having a pleasant face, that is the first Chesed you show to somebody. When you are greeting someone with a nice face, that is the first thing that they appreciate, and that's the first kindness. And having a shining face, having a smile on your face, greeting someone pleasantly, that creates love between people. That creates friendship between people. So, which of course is in and of itself is a good thing, but also for your own sake, it actually benefits you because the more people that are going to like you, that increases the number of people who care about you. And if you want to be successful, it's on a selfish manner, if you want to be successful, people have to like you. If people don't like you, you are not going to be successful. And a person needs friends in order to be happy, and therefore, for your own good, you should be walking around with a smile on your face and a cheerful countenance to other people. The terms of sticking to this one aspect of the Mishnah, this line about having a sever panim yafos, a shining face, a smile on your face, a cheerful countenance. So Rambam talks about that in not just, of course, have a smile, but how you deal with people, dealing pleasantly with people, the things you say to people, the actions you do, for other people, or interacting with other people, how you do those interactions. You can do those interactions in a nice way that is outgoing and pleasant, or you could do it with a sour way, or have to do it, your body language. And and we have guests, have that also. The Rabbi Bartanur says, if you have guests or you're giving someone something and you've got that sour face on or downcast, you're looking, that's not even giving. One of the things we say about tzedakah, right, is that when we give tzedakah to somebody, so there are a certain number of mitzvahs we get for just giving the tzedakah. But if you do it with a smile, if you do it in a way that the other person feels good about it, not just that he got the money, then it's even more. There's even more mitzvahs involved in the fact that you are treating that person and making them feel good. So part of giving tzedakah is not only to give them the money, but also to make them feel good. Rabbeinu Yonah points out that if you show other people a happy face, then people are going to like you. Don't treat people. Don't be angry with people. Don't have that angry countenance. Sometimes we get upset. Don't let yourself get upset, and certainly don't show it if you are. He says if you want to be liked, then what you need to do is like what you don't like, right? If you want other people to like you, sometimes you have to go along with things that you're not so this doesn't really excite me, but I'm going to do it anyway because that's going to make you happy, right? Or I mean, it could be. I guess for me, when someone's serving foods that I'm a little picky eater, right? So if someone's serving you at a meal, or they're giving you something and it's not really the ideal thing that you would have liked, eat it anyway because it's making the host happy, right? So if you like what you don't like, then people will like you. So you have to be willing to give up your interests to some degree in order for other people, and in that way they will be happy with you, and that will cause you to have many more friends, and ultimately it will also cause you to avoid a lot of heartache and possible harm from other people because they want to be nice to you. So Rabbi Twersky points out an interesting thing, which is that this Mishnah is Shammai, and previously we had Mishnahs from Hillel. So we always talk about Hillel. Hillel is always framed as that the person who never got angry, the person who was if you want to call it, the nicer of the two. Shammai was the tough one, and he points out that when Hillel talked about how to go conduct yourself, he started with the idea of midos, of we should ohev esabrit, you should love people like Aaron loved people, and then he talked about bringing them close to Torah. So he started with the idea of character traits and conduct, and ended with Torah. Whereas Shammai flipped it around. He started with make your Torah permanent, make your Torah the primary, and ends with the idea of how you should be treating other people. So he says that normally, and we follow the halacha, follows Hillel more than Shammai. So in terms of how we conduct ourselves, we should conduct ourselves like Hillel and those. First, go out there and be the nice guy. Then do the Torah stuff, because that's what is things that we can handle. That's what we can handle. And generally, by the way, Hillel and Shammai, when the decision was made to follow the opinion of Hillel, one of the things is that it was decided that people can't handle Shammai's opinion. But in the time of Mashiach, things are going to reverse, that we will follow the way of Shammai. And here also he says in the Mashiach times, we will follow Shammai, because we will be able to handle, even in terms of our conduct, we'll be able to handle the making Torah primary first, and then dealing with our chesed second. He also points out an idea of an attitude, the attitude of a pleasant countenance, that it's not just the fact that you put the smile on your face, but it's a whole attitude of how you deal with other people in every aspect of what you do. And finally, we know this idea of your face, like we call this public property. You don't see your face. Everyone else sees your face. So when your face is smiling, then other people are going to see that, and that's going to make them happy. When your face is sour and looking downcast, then other people see that, and it kind of has an effect on them as well. And therefore, we have an obligation. In fact, one of the later sages says that the idea of a pit, when someone walks around looking not unhappy and everything else, it causes other people to feel that way as well, and it becomes a strong negative on them. Let's get the exact thing here. It says that a negative demeanor could be contagious, right? Because when you see someone who's depressed and not happy, it's a tendency that we are going to pick up on that. And maybe especially if someone says something to us that's a little bit right, and then the next time we have an interaction, the next person we interact with, that sour mood is going to pass on. right? So he calls it like it's an open pit in the public domain. We call it in Hebrew a bor b'shus harabim. And the Talmud talks about the idea that a person who shows someone else the whites of your teeth, that's doing more than offering him a glass of cold milk on a hot day. The idea that when you smile at someone, that makes someone happy. And the same idea, when you are going to be smiling at someone, you're going to say good morning to them, you're going to greet them nicely, they're going to pass it on because you've put them into a frame of mind that is now going to make them feel better. And the next person that they meet, they're going to be feeding off of the mood that you created. So our attitude is not only affecting us, but it's affecting the people who we come in contact with, and ultimately the people that they are going to also come in contact with. So having a cheerful countenance is something that is going to keep rolling throughout the environment, throughout your community, whoever you meet, it's going to just keep rippling effect. And